We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on tip Reiman Illinois tight end. And in a weaker tight end class, I think Ryman's one of the better underrated guys to take later on day 3. He's one of the few guys who can actually go out there and do some good blocking. He's definitely one of the better blocking tight ends in the class. Like most of the sleeper tight ends in this class are better receivers. But Ryman goes out there, puts work in. He can work, those combo blocks, reaches, just understands how to, cut people off, use his leverage. He's a very intelligent football player. Didn't get used a ton in the passing game, but he tested really well, which, gives me some hope that he can still improve with, more in development and just being more involved, which he really wasn't involved very much at Illinois. But he tested really well, ran like a 4.64. He had really good explosive grades, good like 3-cone and shuttle grades as well, like across the board. He's a big frame, like he's like about almost 6'5", like 270, like he's well built, tough to bring down. I feel like that's where he gets to show off at the most in the passing game, is after the catch, like getting him going. He has enough speed and can break some tackles and then create a push at the line of scrimmage. Just really impressed with his blocking overall and just understanding how to cut people off where he needs to be in those situations. You get a guy like this on day 3, I feel like he's gonna has potential just to be like a solid tight end 2 for like a long time in the NFL. Like I don't see him like becoming like a high-end tight end 1 or anything like that, but he really knows how to get the job done as a blocker. I feel like, teams are going to find this interesting because he's one of the few good blocking tight ends in this class. So he's going to definitely have some fans. Attack the low hip. He does a great job with this. He's really feels comfortable on combo blocks. Like whenever he can attack the side of someone, like he has to cut someone off. I feel like if he has to straight up base block, he can have troubles at times versus bigger edges. But attacking that low hip, create a drive. Really good job just getting low, great low pad level, and then driving with your feet and sustaining. Like look, and he finishes that block. That guy goes so hard to the ground. Really love the nastiness that Tip Ryman can play with, and he just like is pretty much all over the film. And you can see, look at the lateral quickness here. Love him in like a potential zone blocking scheme because he gets out of here fast. This guy's like right between the guard and the tackle, like a in between a 3 and a 4 pretty much. Not like probably more of a 3 tech here. He's able to get out of there and cut him off so quickly. So great lateral agility, good leverage as well, and then he finishes it too. Like he has a good feel for like the leverage and momentum of a blocker or a guy that he's blocking. Like if he gets overextended, and this guy gets over the top like this, he's not underneath himself anymore. Just use that momentum against him, chuck him to the ground. Really good stuff. Down in the red zone, block 23, who's like a kind of a tweener type, but take him down the line of scrimmage, get hands in the chest, and he just does I think he can do a better job like sustaining with his hands, but he really does understand his positioning and does a good job here creating like an open lane for his running back. Love watching him go as a blocker. He can also do it in pass protection, which I think is a underrated aspect for tight ends games, because there's definitely teams out there that love to use like play action and then they keep that tight end in line blocking like this, or they bring him across the formation to block. I know it's something like the Dolphins love to do. Teams like the Niners, they love to keep these guys in there, help out. And he's isolated, on some edges, and he did a really good job in this game, like staying square, good base bending at the knees, like and he has that athleticism to like mirror and match. Obviously, being a tight end, definitely a very athletic player. Really enjoy watching him go to work on these scenarios. And even like this, when he's not able to cut someone off, like on this outside zone right here, more like a mid zone type thing. Not able to get his hat across. Now you just drive him down the line of scrimmage, help create a cutback lane. Use what's given to you. You got to be able to make adjustments. Sometimes you're not gonna be able to always cut people off. Reach, block, get your hips across. Now he just keeps driving. Use that right arm to extend, which is like a really good job. He realizes his positioning. He's like, well, I'm just gonna extend that right arm and throw this guy down the line of scrimmage. Now he has him completely cut off to this side and creates a cutback lane for his running back to get some extra yards. Very, very good work. As an inline guy, he's definitely your typical inline tight end. He can do some other stuff, whether because there's like the Y, the F, the H tight end position. I feel like he can do a mix of stuff, but I definitely feel like he excels more as an inline tight end. And then we get to see him slightly off the ball here, working across, selling like it's split zone, and then get out of the backfield, catch the ball. I feel like he's pretty he's not going to go out there and create a touch of separation. That's not really his game. He's not the best route runner. But you get him some design touches, like you get to show off his speed out in space. He does a good job. He's got reliable hands. He'll break some tackles. Here's another rev of him, getting the ball. Just good work. the hands, boom, get upfield. Nothing too crazy. And then the next rep, kind of similar, but he's kind of releasing late after getting this block on the edge here. And then boom, catch the ball. Good job making someone miss. I feel like he does a good job of that. And staying on his feet there, which is nice. Like, he kind of loses balance when trying to change direction there, but he's still able to stand on his feet and fall forward for extra yards, which is nice. Like, I don't need him to be an amazing receiver or anything. I just need him to go out there and be if you're, taking this guy on day 3, probably like late day 3, if I had to guess, like around 5-6 guy, he's going to go out and get the job done, cut people off. Here he is basically setting the edge and, like, does a great job, like, kind of squaring him up, but then reset those hands and get to the outside of him and just use your leverage positioning. And he does a good job. I feel like he has good lower body flexion. He just understands exactly where he's supposed to be. And then now he's able to allow that running back to get to the edge and almost score that touchdown there, just because of how he does one-on-one blocking versus an edge defender. Very, very impressed with Ryman in those areas. Tip Ryman. I also think he's pretty smart football player. Don't know how smart he is off the field. I remember him saying something crazy. He was saying some crazy stuff at the combine, like nothing like bad, but just like I can't remember exactly what it was. Did he say? I think he said like space doesn't exist or something. One of those crazy theories. So, if you can deal with that, then you can take a player like this late in the draft. And here's another example of him working a combo, attacking the low hip. He does a great job with his pad level. Look how low he is. Now he just gets the leg drive, pushes his guy like. This is, twice where he's pushing him like 5+ yards down the field. Love that, aggressiveness in his play style in these situations. Ryman definitely understands how to block. Here, this is a good block against Chop Robinson, who's, going to be a first round pick. Chop kind of loses his balance, but Tip just gets to his spot. He gets out laterally. Chop's late to recognize it, but now he just gets there. He's even peeking across, like, because he sees that Chop's going to be late to this, so he even peeks to the inside, just in case like this linebacker's gonna come through. He didn't. So now he just gets back to it. Boom. Cuts him off. Knows the timing of the offense and hit the running back's able to hit that cutback lane because he just gets out of his stance. He's very fluid, very good athletically. He's technically sound. He knows how to, square people up, play with a good base. Doesn't like get over the top too often either. Stays very well balanced here. He's bending at the knees, all the good stuff that you want. Technically, that's kind of what Ryman will do. In the running game, and then the passing game, he's a decent guy that you can get some checkoffs to. That's where he'll make his impact. And for a good blocking tight end, usually like when you're looking for like a number 2, number 3 tight end, they're not going to be, most likely if they're good blockers, they're not usually as athletic as Ryman is. So you can get him some touches and he can make some stuff happen. He can even break some tackles. If he can improve as a route runner, he could even become a pretty solid tight end at the next level. I don't know if I ever see him, becoming like a great receiver or anything, but if he can do this stuff combined with the quality blocking, I really, really enjoy the skill set that, Ryman's going to bring to the next level. As an in blocker, get him on the move, kind of, solid off ball. You're not going to see him do too much like work in the slot type thing. And he can also do some good work in pass protection. And then definitely a guy I feel like many teams will value because a lot of people really value tight ends that can block, and Ryman's one of the few in this class. There's only a handful of guys that can block, and most of them aren't even like great at it. They're just like solid enough with good receivers. Like Ben Sinnott is like one of the most well-rounded guys in this class, but like that's why he's my tight end too, because he can block and is one of the better receivers in the class. Ryman's not one of the better receivers, but he's one of the better blockers for sure. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.